What if I told you that one of the most powerful brands in the world almost never existed? 1932. The Great Depression is in full swing. Four struggling German car companies are teetering on the edge of collapse. And then someone makes a decision that will change the automotive industry forever. Four rings, one vision. The story of Audi is a story about reinvention, precision, and, believe it or not, business genius. Let's start at the very beginning because Audi's origin is genuinely wild. Back in the early 1900s, there were four separate car manufacturers in Germany: Audi, DTKLU, Hoch, and Wanderer. Each one was struggling to compete on its own. The automobile industry was young, brutal, and expensive to survive in. So in 1932, under pressure from the German government and with financing from the State Bank of Saxony, these four companies merged into one entity, Auto Union AG. That's where the four rings come from. Each ring represents one of those four founding companies. But here's what's interesting from a business standpoint. This wasn't a friendly merger of equals. It was survival. And out of survival, they built something extraordinary. After World War II, the company was rebuilt, rebranded, and eventually became of the Volkswagen Group since 1966. So where does Audi stand today? Let's talk numbers. Audi is one of the top 3 luxury car brands in the world, competing head-to-head with BMW and Mercedes-Benz, what the industry calls the German Big Three. In recent years, Audi has delivered well over 1.5 million vehicles annually, across more than 100 countries. Their revenue? We're talking in the range of 60 to 70 billion euros per year. That's not just a car company. That's a global economic machine. And they do it with a remarkably focused product philosophy. Unlike some automakers that sprawl across dozens of unrelated product categories, Audi stays laser-focused on one thing: premium vehicles, sedans, SUVs, sports cars, and increasingly electric vehicles. Let's talk about something that doesn't get enough credit: Audi's brand architecture. Walk into any Audi dealership and you'll notice their lineup is brilliantly organized. It's not random. The A-Series, A3, A4, A6, A8, these are your entry to flagship sedans. Numbers go up, size goes up, prestige goes up. Simple. The Q-Series, Q2 through Q8, that's their SUV range. Again, clean, intuitive, scalable. Then you have the S and RS designations performance variants layered on top of existing models. Same car, more power, higher price, stronger emotions. And at the very top, the R8, their supercar, the halo vehicle, the one that makes you stop scrolling and watch a YouTube video at 2 a.m. From a business strategy perspective, this tiered architecture is genius. It lets Audi serve multiple customer segments: the practical professional, the performance enthusiast, the luxury seeker, all under one unified brand identity. But perhaps the most important chapter in Audi's business story right now is the one they're still riding: the electric transition. Here's the thing about legacy automakers and electrification. It's hard. Genuinely hard. You're not just engineering new cars. You're restructuring entire supply chains, retraining workforces, convincing loyal customers to change behavior, and competing against companies like Tesla that started with zero legacy costs. Audi has committed to going fully electric, phasing out internal combustion engines in new models. This is a multi-billion euro bet on the future. Their electric lineup, branded under the e-tron and Q-e-tron names, includes some genuinely impressive machines. The Audi e-tron GT, for instance, is one of the most beautiful electric cars on the market. Full stop. Now can they execute? That's the real question. They face stiff competition not just from Tesla, but from Chinese EV brands like BYD and NIO that are entering the luxury space at aggressive price points. Audi's advantage: 90 years of brand equity, a global dealer network, and an engineering reputation that's been hard-earned through motorsport and innovation. Their disadvantage: the same thing that holds back every legacy company: the past. You can't talk about Audi as a business without talking about motorsport, because Audi figured out something that most marketing teams only dream about: racing wins don't just generate trophies, they generate trust. Audi dominated Le Mans, one of the most grueling endurance races in the world, for over a decade. 13 victories between 2000 and 2014. 13. But here's the business insight. Audi used Le Mans to introduce and validate technology. When they won Le Mans in 2000 with a diesel-powered race car, something that sounded almost absurd at the time, they didn't just win a race. They changed how the entire world thought about diesel engines. Suddenly, their TDI technology wasn't just efficient. It was proven. It was championship winning. That's not marketing. That's proof of concept at 200 miles per hour. Audi doesn't exist in isolation. It's part of the Volkswagen Group, one of the largest automotive conglomerates on the planet. And understanding that relationship is key to understanding Audi's business model. Within the VW Group, Audi sits in the premium tier, below Porsche, Bentley, and Lamborghini, above Volkswagen, Skoda, and Seat. What does this mean in practice? Platform sharing, engineering efficiency, cost savings at massive scale. The Audi A4 and the Volkswagen Passat, they share a platform. The Audi Q7 and the Porsche Cayenne also share a platform. This allows Audi to develop cutting-edge technology and then amortize the development costs across multiple brands and millions of vehicles. It's one of the smartest cost structures in manufacturing. The risk? Customers sometimes notice. Wait, is this just a fancy Volkswagen? Audi has had to work hard to maintain its premium perception, even while sharing bones with more affordable siblings. Let's talk about something that every premium brand needs to get right: the experience. Because at the end of the day, when you're asking someone to pay 20, 30, sometimes 50,000 euros more than a comparable non-premium car, you have to give them more than sheet metal and horsepower. You have to give them a feeling. Audi has invested heavily in what they call the Audi experience, from the moment you walk into a dealership to the moment your car arrives on that velvet-covered platform under dramatic lighting. Yes, that's a real thing. Their Audi City showrooms are digital first. You can configure your exact car on massive touchscreens and see it in photorealistic detail before a single vehicle is in the room. That's brilliant retail innovation. And in the car itself? Features like the Audi Virtual Cockpit, a fully digital instrument cluster, set a benchmark when it launched that other manufacturers are still catching up to. Premium isn't just about price. It's about making people feel like they've arrived somewhere. Now, let's be honest. No business story is complete without talking about the challenges. Audi, like all of Volkswagen Group, was hit hard by the Dieselgate scandal in 2015. Emissions-cheating software was found in vehicles across the group, resulting in billions in fines, massive reputational damage, and a fundamental loss of consumer trust in diesel technology. It was a serious blow, and it accelerated, perhaps ironically, their pivot toward electrification. Then there are the structural challenges: global chip shortages, supply chain disruptions, rising raw material costs for battery production. These aren't Audi-specific problems, but they hit premium manufacturers who depend on complex, feature-rich vehicles especially hard. And then there's China. China is Audi's single largest market. And as Chinese EV brands get stronger and as local preferences shift, Audi needs to compete differently there than anywhere else in the world. The road ahead requires Audi to be simultaneously nostalgic and progressive, to honor what made them great engineering, design, motorsport heritage while building something entirely new. That's the tension, and how they navigate it will define the next chapter. So why should you care about Audi as a business, whether you're a car person or not? Because Audi is a masterclass in several things that apply far beyond the automotive industry. First, brand architecture. How to serve multiple customer segments without diluting your core identity. Second, technology as marketing. Using performance and innovation as proof points that no advertising campaign could replicate. Third, the premium pricing strategy. Understanding that people don't just buy products, they buy narratives, identities, and belonging. Fourth, legacy transformation. The challenge every established company faces when the market fundamentally shifts. How do you reinvent yourself without losing yourself? These are universal business questions. Audi just happens to answer them with 500 horsepower and Quattro all-wheel drive. To summarize, Audi is a 90-year-old brand built on survival, reinvention, and engineering obsession. Today it generates tens of billions in revenue, competes at the very top of the global luxury market, and is making one of the most consequential bets in its history by going all in on electric. It's a story of 4 rings, 4 companies, and one relentless pursuit of being better. And this is exactly the kind of deep dive business story we cover on this channel. We break down the companies, the strategies, and the decisions that shape the world not with jargon and graphs, but with stories that actually make sense. If that sounds like your kind of content, and I'm guessing it does, because you made it this far, here's what I want you to do. Hit that subscribe button. Right now, before you click on the next video. It takes literally 2 seconds, it costs you nothing, and it means you won't miss the next episode. We've got breakdowns on companies like LVMH, Tesla, Ferrari, and some names you might not expect that have stories even wilder than this one. Also drop a comment below. I read them all. Tell me, do you think Audi can win the electric race? Or will the legacy weight slow them down? I genuinely want to know what you think.